And I think he really believes that he is in with a great chance of defeating Joe Joyce tonight.
I'll tell you one thing, it must be some size helmet.
Punches down the back of the head, and you protect yourselves at all the times, okay? Touch them up, good lads. Good luck.
Carlos Takam can be a little bit free with his use of the head. I wonder whether that could be a factor. I know that Joe Joyce, only too well aware, he's been studying that, and the fact that he does tend to lunge in as the shorter man, and that is something he's got to be very aware of.
Yeah, for sure. We saw that with the Anthony Joshua fight before. And as you said, I'm sure it's something that Joe is prepared for.
Joshua, taller, you can see. Reach advantage, not as much as you might imagine. And still, as he said in that interview prior to this contest, which you were hearing, he thinks he's not got too many miles on the clock. And certainly Takam has been around the block an awful lot longer.
Joe's not the quickest, but he's very unpredictable with his rhythm. We saw that in the Daniel Dubois fight, but he's got to be careful with exactly that, jabbing. Sometimes when Joe leads with a jab, that back foot can lift up as he steps in with a jab. It's something, as we said before, having a height disadvantage can be an advantage, and you saw that there.
He has got a tremendous chin, Joe Joyce, but I'm sure he'd rather not prove that. He doesn't want to be taking those big overhand rights from Takam, which is a little bit of a trademark punch. Ironically, it was that punch which finished him off against Derek Chisora.
Derek Chisora established a hell of a lot and invested a lot into the body of Takam before bringing the head over. Takam loves a counter left hook. Derek Chisora read that, showed him downstairs, brought the hook out of Takam and brought the right hand over the top. Something Joe's just got to be careful of is, as I say, stepping in with that jab, Takam getting underneath it and bowling the right hand over the top of it.
Joyce, as we know, though, has such a good engine. He will keep coming, and that left-hand lead is real quality. And I've spoken to a lot of people around the sport, and I know that the big lads all really rate him, and they say that he would be a handful for anybody, and they mean by that anybody.
He certainly will be, and that down the stretch will definitely be a factor for Takam. You can see what Takam's looking for, that right hand over the top of Joe's jab. So it's important Joe keeps changing the rhythm up, changing the distance up, and maybe put it out there knowing Takam's going to bite on it and make him pay for stepping in with the overhand right.
Well, Takam's landed a couple of those punches, but for the most part, this opening round, which hasn't begun too dynamically, has been dominated by the left-hand lead of Joyce. There's that right hand again, though, from Takam. That's, I think, the third time that he's landed with that sneak right hand over the top that Ben's been talking about. And another one, shake of the head from Joyce, but he's taking maybe just a few too many of those. There's another. Takam lands yet again in the closing seconds of the opening round.
Yeah, I think Takam may have, there's a shout to give him that opening round because, the damaging shots and the more clear shots definitely came from Takam there.
Joyce will want to try and establish a dominance. He has got that phenomenal chin, though, as he showed also in that last fight against Daniel Dubois. But he doesn't want to be displaying it too much. Early stages as well.
When someone's consistently throwing back when you throw, sometimes it's safer to shoot and smother, and especially Joe being such a big guy and being able to tower over Takam, it was a tactic that Klitschko often used. Sometimes get your shot off, smother, use your weight and be physical with the opponent on top of them.
It's given Joyce plenty to think about right now is Carlos Takam. Bobbing and weaving effectively and varying his attack.
Better timing then for Joe, better timing.
Left hand from Takam to the body, looked as though it was a little bit low to me. And another one. It's under the watchful eye of referee Steve Gray, though, who was happy that there was nothing wrong with it.
A little bit methodical with that lead hand at the minute, Joe. Would like to see him feint a little bit more.
That's better. Working away behind that jab as he did so effectively in his last fight. Good body shots from Takam. And the right hand again over the top. And I tell you what, his corner are getting excited about this. They feel he's made a really good start to this fight. Joe Joyce only too happy, though, to go toe-to-toe.
Yeah, a few of those have been caught on the arms. You know, they're getting excited. You know, a few are getting through, but there's a few that Joe's blocking there and they're screaming for as well.
Good work again. A few oohs and ahs from the crowd as Takam lands a couple of those big right hands over the top and another. Joyce having to walk through some real heavy shots.
Joe's taller and longer. He could potentially bend his back knee, sit his weight back a little bit, take away the height difference, but still keep the reach and length. Rather than standing up tall, allowing Takam to take his head low and bowl him over the top, bit like that.
Is there a danger that Joe's just been a little bit over keen to project the idea that he was going to make a statement here and show that he was going to finish him and win more effectively than Anthony Joshua did, and that he's therefore ready to step up that level? Is that a point?
A fantastic body shot there from Joe Joyce. There certainly is that. If that is the case, you'd have to ask Joe Joyce.
That one was taken on the shoulder, I think. There were some oohs and ahs from the bleachers, but I don't think that one landed flush from Takam. And Joyce is trying to walk him down, showing that notorious resilience that he has.
A few feints in between. He's going to keep Takam reactive, defensive, going to throw his timing off. He's often punching when Joe's punching, trying to get underneath him and bowl him over the top.
Having to punch down Joe Joyce. But
yeah, and he's funny you mentioned that, John, 'cause he's just switched it up there. He's started to lift his jab up from his hip, which will make it harder for Takam to get underneath it and throw over the top.
Oh, he just missed with that big right hand there. It's already starting to develop into a very, very interesting contest indeed. Takam is having his moments once more. Joyce trying to show his strength and just walk through Takam. Maybe Takam's work rate just dropping a little bit in this third.
Yeah, and I do think that will happen, but as I say, you don't want to keep taking these shots along the way. Something that worked massively for Joyce, started pinning him while he's bending down there. That's better from Joyce. Something that worked massively for Joyce in the Dubois fight was the unpredictable rhythm of the lead hand, and that seems to have gone out the window right now.
And closing seconds of the third. Joyce has had more success in this third round.
Oh, fantastic shot there from Joyce.
Takam takes it, but Joyce landed the most telling shot. That attack in the last 20 seconds from Joyce, you know, I mean, I didn't think there was a lot in it in the rest of the round, but I think that was the most telling moment, and for that reason, you know, maybe he won that round.
Yeah, it's a potential fight-turning moment, because I do think Takam started.
Whoa! Well, Takam would beg to differ.
Yeah, I do think Takam's very inefficient when he attacks. We saw that with Chisora. He is dangerous when he's attacking, but as I say, inefficient. And that could potentially have been a turning moment for Joe. Joe's just allowing him room to get underneath him there. Step in, tie him up, use your weight, be physical with him. Should be getting on top of him, stepping into him, tying him up and being physical with him, using his physical size.
It's a body shot, good right hand from Joyce. Well, he was quoted by the bookies as something like 9-1 on Joe Joyce. He didn't look like that at the moment, does he?
No, Takam has had a good start to the fight. But I do think Joe's engine and durability, toughness and volume will start to play a part. But Joe's definitely taken too many along the way.
Takam with that overhand right once more.
Good body shot from Joe Joyce there.
He felt that Takam buckled forward. Referee telling him to keep his punches up, I think, but I'm not sure there was anything wrong with it.
Another good body shot. He's starting to invest in the body, which is something we saw from Derek Chisora when he fought Takam. Especially when he's exerted a lot of energy, it's going to help drain Takam.
Well, he and his trainers will have studied previous Takam fights long and hard, I'm sure. Takam winding up that big right hand again and again. Joyce trying to show that he's physically the stronger man, but Takam having none of it at this moment. You can see why he's been such a crowd pleaser over the years, Takam. He really comes with a will to win. Good round. I think there is very much a question as to whether or not Takam's going to be able to sustain this. He's invested an awful lot into the early stages of this fight.
He has, but he'll still be dangerous. He's a big, strong guy, experienced, tough, durable guy.
28 stoppages in his 39 wins.
Fantastic little uppercut inside there from Joe. Energy expending attacks.
Takam just taking a little bit of a breather maybe, but there's a big swinging left hand. He laughed at the quotes attributed to Joe, saying that he was just going to run him over. And he just responded by saying, I am going to be a big, big test. And he's already shown that. Joyce just keeps coming as ever. And there's not been so many big shots from Takam in this round. It's allowing Joyce to settle into a rhythm.
Yeah, Joe's definitely started to break him up here. But as we said, Takam will still be dangerous, as you can see there.
Yeah, it's coming from way back though, and it's now looking more like single shots from Takam.
Yeah, the investment in the bodywork in the fourth round's definitely started to pay its toll here. But Joe has gone away from it slightly. Just still needs to be careful stepping in too hard with that jab, allowing the shorter guy to get underneath and come over the top. Bit like that. That's why it needs to be unpredictable. He can probe. He can. If you look at Vladimir Klitschko, the jab doesn't always come from a traditional textbook position. He's got less to travel, less time for the opponent to see it. Good uppercut there from Joe.
Sorry, Dwight, if you're watching.
I tell you what, Joe would have been careful. Oh, fantastic left hook from Joe there.
He's going to jump all over him now. He's got him going.
Just needs to be careful still. Don't want to burn himself out.
He thinks he can take him here.
Just needs to be careful. Takam can bowl one over.
Takam, has he regrouped? Joyce is gambling a bit here.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to take silly gambles and silly risks. That's better. That's better. A little bit of room to pick his shots. That's much better from Joe.
Joyce trying to put his punches together now, trying to pick his punches, and Takam's taking a lot.
Referee should be having a look here.
Is he about to go? Is he ready to go? Referee
Downstairs
Steve Gray.
as well.
Referee Steve Gray watching on very, very closely, and it's all over. It's all over. Joe Joyce gets the win he wants in the 6th round, and when he got him going, my word, he didn't let him off the hook. Great finish. Takam right in there then, but now this is where he starts to mount another big attack, and you see the referee watching on very, very closely. And to be fair to Steve Gray, not a lot coming back from Takam there. Furious, instant reaction from Takam, and there'll be plenty who'll say, well, was that too soon? I don't know.
49 seconds of round number 6. Our referee in charge, Steve Gray, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner, and still WBO International, WBC Silver, and Commonwealth Heavyweight Champion, Joe the Juggernaut